Hey, welcome to this video on how to use interval notation to state the domain of a vector function. So we're going to use the example written here. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to write each of these three components in its parametric equation form. So we're going to start with x. So we have x equals t squared. Then we have y equals the square root of 5 minus t. And then we have z equals the natural log of t. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to find the domain of each of these three equations. So here we can see, looking at x, that t can go from negative infinity all the way to infinity. Now remember to use open parentheses because we can never have a closed bracket on a infinity, because even regardless of negative or positive, because you can never really have a definite number for infinity since it goes on forever. Next, looking at y, we can have negative infinity, and that's because of that negative sign in there, because any negative number will turn positive, all the way up to 5 with a closed bracket, because it can be 5, because you can have the square root of 0, but if it was, say, 6, that would be 5 minus 6, making that the square root of negative 1, and we can't have the square root of negative numbers. Next, we look at z equals natural log of t. Knowing the rules of natural log, you know that natural log cannot have a negative value in it, and it cannot be equal to 0. So we have open parentheses 0, comma, all the way going to infinity. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to find a domain that meets the restrictions of each of these three components that we have found. So looking at this, we can see that we have a negative infinity, and a 0. Well, that 0 is restricting, so we're going to write that right here, 0. That is our first number. Looking at the second part, we have infinity, 5, and infinity. We can see that while two of these go to infinity, one of these equations is restricting us to 5 with a closed bracket. So we have 5 closed bracket. So that is our domain of this vector function. That satisfies each of these three components. Alright, I hope you found this tutorial helpful, and if you did, please like, subscribe, and feel free to leave comments or questions. Please let me know if you'd like me to do similar tutorials like this. Alright, catch you on the next one.